Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am going to try to fix my Ford Fusion. What's happening is the door opens from the outside, but it will not open from the inside, and the lock doesn't seem to work properly. Try the key. That worked. So basically I went to the junkyard to try and get parts for this because one, I'm not really exactly sure what's wrong with it. I haven't taken this door apart. You're seeing this as I'm seeing this. I don't know anything more than you do at the moment. I took some footage at the junkyard, so let me show that, and I'll be right back. Let's go shopping. Now this looks about right. 2010 Fusion. Oh, nice. The door is already partially disassembled. Does it have what we need? I think it does. Let's see if it works. Say that's a good sign. Alright, so I don't think I'm gonna film this. This is a pretty long hike from up there, and I didn't bring a tripod or anything, so I'm just gonna pull this whole door off and see what's in it, and then I'll buy the parts and go home, and next time you'll see me, I'll be installing this on my Fusion. That's what I ended up with. I was actually feeling pretty sick that day. I started getting sick while at the junkyard. I did not feel very well, and I basically started taking this door apart, and I ended up not having, I needed to drill some rivets to get to some of the internal latch mechanisms and stuff out, and I didn't have that. I didn't really want to go home empty-handed. Then again, I didn't really feel like coming back, so I went up to the office and I asked how much for a door, and they said $65 any way you have it, meaning that it could be the raw sheet metal or it could be a full complete door. So I paid $65 for this door. I went back and I pulled the 5 bolts holding it on, took the whole door off, wheelbarrowed it up to the front, and paid $65, threw it in the truck, and here it is. Here's the other side of the door. If you recall from the video at the junkyard, it did not have the plastic or anything like that on it, but I actually found another car and I kind of reassembled the door with pieces from a couple different cars so that I would get a complete door, because if I was paying $65, I would want the window motor and the trim pieces and all of the switches and everything like that. So I kind of did that. There's really not much holding it together. I don't think any of the screws are in it. It's just loosely all held together with the plastic clips. So it should be pretty simple to get this thing apart. So there's one T20 Torx screw that goes in there. There is one that goes right here, and there is another that goes right here, and then the last one is inside here, which I just took out. And basically that allows this piece to come out like that. You would undo all the connectors. I never plugged it in. You want to get rid of all of the broken glass too. It's kind of sharp. That also allows this, actually. It's kind of part of the whole door assembly. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, once all the screws are out, I kind of like to use these plastic trim removal tools to pry the trim panels off. It helps keep from damaging the paint and the door, all this stuff. So that's basically what we're left with. You can see that these are the types of clips that hold it in. So basically kind of friction clips. What I'm actually hoping is that that it's just this handle that is broken and nothing else. That way I won't have to take this this whole metal panel off and get to the latch assembly or anything like that. I'm not certain, however, because when it first broke, I couldn't open the door from either the inside or the outside. And playing with the outside handle and the inside latch, I was able to get it to open from the outside. So I'm not 100% sure. That's one of the reasons why I bought the whole door instead of just that piece, because I'm not there's a 50-50 chance that that's all that's wrong with it. Alright, there's one 8mm bolt holding that on. And then this cable come out like that. Like that. It's basically a barrel end that goes in there, and then the white plastic piece slips on there. At this point, I think it's probably time to take apart the current door on the car and start getting into that to see what's going on. So let's do that. I'd like to start with this one and pop that out. I should probably get my tools ready before I turn the camera on, but that's okay. It's a T20 Torx, like I was saying before. That was pretty loose. Alright. Put that down there. Now this should be loose. And this one's going to have a bunch of wires connected to it, so I have to deal with that. Let me see. What do we want to do next? Maybe the one in here. That one is not a Torx. Is that 8mm? No. It's different than the other door. I'm gonna have to get the right socket. Alright, so that bolt down there, or screw, is actually a 7mm. There we go. And as you can see, we have all the wires connected to this. So let's start pulling these off. That's 1, 2, and oops, sorry about that. 3. It's kind of hard because I'm trying to work behind you guys and wrap my arms around the camera and the tripod. Let's take these last 2 T20 screws out, and then we can pry the plastic off. These jobs always make me nervous because all these trim pieces, they are only good for a certain number of removals and reinstallations before the clips start breaking. You see, to me that does not sound good, but that's kind of the way it's supposed to sound. Pop back in. These pop back in. There we go. Yep. All right. Let's assess the damage. Did we break any clips? No, no broken clips. Kind of relieved at that. Okay, I think I see the problem, and I think it might only be this. Can you see that in there? That piece is broken off. Let's get the new one, or the new old one. You can see that that is not broken in there, and that is. So maybe this will be a quick fix, and I will not have to take the entire door apart. That would be very nice. All right, 8mm. Let's pull this off. Maybe you can see better this time around. Kind of snap that out of there, and then this barrel, bring the cable around like that and pull it out just like that. Oh, and there goes the broken piece. All right, let's get the new one installed. I keep saying new one, but it's not really a new one, it's a Junkyard one. Just do the exact opposite. Like that. And that should go on like that. That looks about right. What do you think? Should we try it? That works, still. Locks. This should... Hey, how about that? I'd say we're good to go. We can reassemble this door. Assembly is the exact opposite of removal, and I don't know if I'll show them. Maybe I'll show this. Maybe I'll just speed it up, like 5 times normal speed or something like that. We'll see. We'll see if it makes it in the video. Done. So now the question becomes, what do I do with this door and all of the associated pieces? Well, what I think I am going to do is I'm going to basically strip this door. It actually has good window glass in it. Pull the window glass, pull the power window motor, speaker, wiring harness, all of that. Save these switches and consoles and all the screws and everything. And put them in a box. I know that the power window motors go out on these things pretty often, so some of this is definitely worth saving. I don't think I am going to keep the entire door, even though it's in fairly decent condition. I honestly don't have a use for it. Not only that, the problem with this door is that you can't see it here, but my current door has the you can get into it by punching the code here. This door, the Fusion that this came off of, does not have that option, at least I think. Yeah, it does not. So even if I was to wreck my car, damage my door, this, I mean, I guess I could delete the option, but I don't really want to store this. So there's kind of some work involved in stripping this door. Mainly that in order to really get this panel off, I'm going to have to drill these rivets out. So that's no fun, but you know, I think I'm gonna do it. It really doesn't take that long, and you know, make a good video. You know, to be quite honest, I did not see many videos out there that show how to remove a window from a Fusion. So I guess this will be my stab at making one of those videos. I already partially disassembled this at the junkyard. I only put 4 or 5 bolts in to hold it in place during transport. Usually there are a few more of those. As you can see at this point, this panel still does not want to come. Basically, have to drill these rivets out so you can get to the glass and all the other stuff behind here. So why don't we do that? I've never done this before, so here goes. Yeah, I think this drill bit is toast. Any case, if I destroy this door, no big deal. It is a junkyard door, and the parts that I already got off of it are worth as much or more than the $65 I paid for it. This drill bit looks a little bit better. Oh, much better. That seems about right. 5 rivets had to come out. Not too difficult, but you know, it's kind of a pain. You know, they should have used nuts or studs or bolts or something. You know, because if you were to put this back together, I don't know, you'd have to use bolts, or you'd have to thread something, or, you know, tap something. I don't know. Let's get in there. I've not pulled this panel off yet, so we will do it together. I kind of think the wiring harness needs to come off. So there's definitely a connector that goes in back here, connecting somewhere to the latch mechanism or something that's holding this up. There's one more rivet here for the window crank that is held on. That is attached by a cable back in there. So let me drill that one out and then we'll get that out. Alright, we're in. I think that's harder than it really needs to be. There are two 10mm nuts or bolts in here that hold the window on. So I'm going to take those off and try and remove the window. There's the glass. Here's the window assembly, and basically those rivets, those 5 rivets that we drilled out initially, are what hold this piece. So I really don't see how you can replace the window glass without drilling those 5 rivets out. And now what do you do if I was to reinstall this? You know, that's rivets. I guess I could re-rivet it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe weld some nuts onto the back of it and use bolts. That would be a much better solution in my opinion. I got the plug out. There's a plug back here at the end of this wiring harness, because I pulled up on that red tab and then just pulled hard and it popped out. So I probably can get this wiring harness free now if I want to. Really not sure that it's worth saving anything else from the store. Let me take a look. There are 3 T25s down here holding this latch in place. Figure, let's take them out and see if this whole thing will come out. It's loose, but it doesn't come out. And it's actually connected to the handle assembly in here. I pulled the wiring harness out. I got the, if you're curious as to how this thing goes in, it's got these 2 little clips here. They're kind of clips. I just pulled pretty hard and they, you know, popped out. Wiggled them and pulled, and they'll pop out. So that's a complete wiring harness here. And I think I'm gonna call it quits here. It's getting dark. It's, what is it, mid-October now? Even though it's still 80 degrees out and the sun is setting really early, so I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, So if you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one. One last thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to show it, is just remove these 3 bolts and then the mirror assembly will come off. I think I want to save that because if you look here, this one I think has possibly a broken clip or something back here. This should really be flush, but in any case, I'll do that. I'm not going to show it. You get the idea. I think I'm going to need a bigger box.